Homie said, let's get into this mofrika. Uh-oh. 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 I don't know this account. I'm going to have to call out the troll whisperer. Ooh. 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 Well, you can't play music up here, so I was just all in my gyro. She was like, I love kissing, baby. All right, while we got people. See, y'all shady. Mix shady in the morning. People got to start with me early in the morning. Is that the same as 2300 Jackson Street? Okay. My bad. I didn't know you were live. No, but listen, sir. Let's talk about the fear of missing out. Because this morning, that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the fear of missing out. Because I think that that's what this boils down to. Some people are afraid. I already know that you will have clustered yourself into a groupthink environment. And in that groupthink environment, you know that if you go outside if you go outside the parameters of the group, that you will be exiled. And the consequences of being exiled is that you'll have nobody to chat with, or you won't be welcomed in certain spaces. So you have to continue to do things in order to be part of something. So you have to get along. You have to be in the get along gang. Okay? That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that you can't break your ties from that. And then it's worse that we watch people struggle with their own personal thoughts on a subject, but not wanting to deviate from the crowd. So that's unfortunate for you, that you're at a stage in your life that you are an adult and that you are trying to stay amongst the in crowd. You don't want to be an independent person. And I don't understand that construct. I don't understand it because it doesn't work for me. I am quite comfortable being in my own zone, doing things for myself and being dependent upon myself. Yesterday, I said something that I thought was extremely brutal when we talk about success and how you measure success and what people do to be successful. And I said, most of the time, when you hear somebody, a successful person, recall how they got to their success, you will often hear them speak in terms of I. I did this. I did that. I. You will not hear words like we, them, they, us. Because normally when you're rising to your success, you're on that journey alone. Along the pathway, you come to destinations in there, little stops along the road where you may meet some of them. You may even roll with a us for a second. You may be part of they for a moment. But when you get back on that journey, sometimes you leave some of them behind, and you might get a we for a moment because somebody might link up with you and you might be able to travel that journey with that person until that season ends. I've experienced that in my life. And I came on the YouTube and I shared those adventures with my community here. with my community here, and what has happened because of it has been eye-opening or breathtaking for me, because on my journey I have shared my experiences, never with the eye on, ooh, somebody's gonna take your experience, Monica, and make a mockery out of it. I never thought, I never considered that as one of the issues with me being on my journey. I never considered initially what hate I would generate by just retelling my life. So I got a question today that asked me, hey Mo, is Joy and Trey broke up? I don't know. That's not my business. That's not my business. People here, and I was thinking about this morning as I was watching the videos from the evening or the overnight videos, and I was saying to myself, darn, Monica, why are the folks around here so consumed with somebody else's relationships and what is becoming of somebody else's relationship? And I've tried to understand it, like, why the men obsessed with stuff. And I've had to be like, that's none of my concern as to what is going on in another person's relationship. So to throw back at me like, oh, I thought that's your cousin, so you would know this, right? No, I don't know nobody else's business but my own. I can only speak on my own business. And quite honestly, when you talk about yourself, right, you preserve your innocence in being a troublemaker on here. You stop the cycle of what I call as bonchinchetta. You stop the spread of information. You cut off it at you cut off some things right at the start of it. If more people on here took the time to just tend to their own business, this would be a happier environment. But you can't tend to your own business if you yourself don't have content. I'm troubled this morning because this morning I intended to come up here and Monday morning quarterback a topic that was important to me, a woman-related issue that could happen to any of us. And I wanted to discuss it. So now I'm going to have to take the time to do what I don't do. And I'm going to have to make it into an upload and discuss it in that construct and then just upload it. So I have to figure out if I'm going to make it a premiere or if I'm just going to upload it. But those would be topics that are important to me. This construct of beef, right? This fear of missing out on having a negative discussion about somebody on the internet is not the things I want to do. So, I think sometimes folks don't really see themselves as being messy when they are being messy. We may all be guilty of being messy in some way or another, but sometimes you have to really try to zero in on what am I doing that is contributing to this nonsense. And at this point, I think yesterday I answered all the questions or I came out here and made all the public statements that I could make on situations. So let me just start with saying good morning to those people that decided to show up and show out. This morning's devotional song was Ja Rule. And I was happy. He put me in a good mood. Baby, your style, your eye. Okay, so that's what I was listening to. I got, I have some private lounges around here. So I just opened up a private lounge. I asked security to go in there and sweep it and make sure that there was nothing in there, because I gave somebody her own exclusive booth. So welcome, lady, and there you are. I have no way of validating. Oh yes, I do, Miss Monica. Oh yes, you do. You popped out the chat, so I must have it must be in this format right here. Let me go do some checking around here, because now I have to. We have to do security checks over here. Please excuse me, I'm interrupting this portion of the video because I have to do security checks. Oh Jesus, Joseph and Mary. Let me just see something. I hope this I have to pop out Chrome. I hope it opens over here on this side of the screen. It does. It does. All right, let me go to Gmail. I gotta compose an email right now. Boom. Okay, I gotta come here. Boom. All right, that's one down. Let's see. All right, I had to hire private security around here. Nightbot is incognito, not incognito. Yo, that thing is just crazy to me. All right, what's the other thing? I need to go back over here. I need to go back over here. I'm just doing security clearance about some folks around here. We're doing security clearances around here. I'm sending this stuff down to my secret lab for them to take a look at it. I got my lemonade. I see everybody's doing shorts. Interessant. Very interessant. Let me see. Okay, I think that's it. All right, I'm sending this in to my private security. Okay, so we're handling that right now. All right, so that is taken care of. That is taken care of. That is there. This is there. Thank you for the like or take a hike. Okay, so let us resume our discussion. Let us resume our discussion. Now that I've taken care of some housekeeping issues. This is a new person to the room. Thank you for coming in. Good morning, sir. When trouble happens, we, they, you hear those words. I don't know. When it's not actually on this YouTube, I don't really consider this stuff anymore to be trouble. I consider this to be just what these people do. This is just part of their environment. This is just what they do because they have nothing else to do. Nothing else constructive. We, us, them, and they. I knew I wanted to know whom they were referencing when they say we. Yes. It's just like the time the person kicked me out the term earlier this year. The consensus is, I'm like, So now y'all making decisions on a consensus making by the consensus of the group. Do you know what that really means, sir? When you say we're doing something by consensus, it is a terminology that people use when they are not when they are not I understand. I understand and I welcomed you. Consensus means that you don't have a yes and you don't really have a no vote. When you come to consensus on something, it's usually something that you're willing to live with. And people normally have to come to consensus decision making, which is a way of voting in a group. So it's not new terminology. It is what people do around here when they are in a group that you can't have it your way. If there was a true majority rules inside the group, you would have a yes or no vote. That's it. But when you can't have a yes or a no vote, guess what you do come to? You end up having to make a decision based on a consensus. It means that there may have been a lot of people who wanted to say no to something. And there were a lot of people who wanted to say yes to something. And if you did a majority vote on either side of that, either the yes had it or the no had it, you run the risk of breaking up your group. So, to alleviate that friction, people utilize a terminology called consensus. And it means that you're willing to live with the decision that the group as a whole will make, which means that whichever the majority was, is saying to the minority in the group, listen, all I need you to do is to be willing to live with what we about to do. I understand that you think what we about to do is not a good look and that, but we going to do it anyway, with you or without you, but we would prefer to have you here. So when somebody came to me and said that the consensus of the group is such, I was like, well, who's the consensus? Who's the group? So that let me know that that gentleman wasn't speaking to me alone or wasn't acting alone. He was going with the consensus. He didn't say, I think that you are out here doing XYZ. He said the consensus of the group is. So he was willing to go along with what the group says to be part of that group. So using that terminology is very interesting to me because it is actually saying I agree that I'm in fear of missing out on something unless I go with the consensus. Why are we doing that? Because the fear is what they're afraid. They're afraid of being alone on here. And the thing that I understand the most is I understand your fear. And as long as I understand why you don't want to stand alone, I can live with that. Because I understand where you are in your decision-making capacity. And to me, it is not the energy that I want around me. So when I see people, y'all use the terminology, say bandwagon. But when I'm going to use the terminology in concert with other people. When I see people acting in concert with others, I understand why they're doing it. And it's because of a fear. In life, you should not be afraid of anything. You should not live in fear of whatever this is that you're in fear of. But understand here in Mo, I understand it. It's weak. It's feeble. But in essence, it's who you are. And then people wake up in the middle of the night or when they feeling right and they cast words on others. Everything that they're thinking about themselves, all their insecurities, all the things that they wish they could be and can't because they're living in this consensus thinking environment, they cast upon somebody else. The fear of missing out. It's real. It is real. It's absolutely real. It's absolutely real. Um so the other day I was on Joy's platform and I said to I was receiving apologies. And I was like, to Joy, I said, Joy, we're not going to do this. We're not going to apologize to each other here. Like this not what we going to do, right? And then her man stepped up, or I should say fiance, because there's a ring in play around here somewhere. And she basically said, like, he came out and said, no, ma'am, I need to apologize to you because I went after you for business. It was not personal, it was the business. And I had to be like, oh, wow. I don't know what I should apologize for because I don't remember what really, you know how I am. I got that short term memory thing. And the first thing, as soon as I ended the live, somebody reached out to me and said, girl, you talked about this. You said this about somebody's deceased loved one. La da 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 boom 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 boom. And I said, I addressed that. When I said everything I had to say when it initially began was something I said to Joy in private that came somehow into this world. And I didn't understand that. And I still haven't had a conversation with Joy as it relates to that because we just haven't had a conversation. But I look back and I said, I don't know what I could have been apologetic for. But I know there probably is something that I need to say. And I'm still struggling with all that happens. And the reason why I struggle with all that happened is because I didn't watch the videos. I had too much stuff going on. And this is, it's in honesty. I had too much stuff going on in my personal life to really overwhelm myself with what was going on here in the YouTube space, what was being said, what wasn't being said, how it was being said. I was too consumed. So I do have to catch up. I do have to catch up on some things. I do know that right now I want to do a Q&A with somebody and it's going to break the internet over here. If y'all even know who I want to do, who I'm contemplating doing a Q&A with. So I'm going to post on my community wall and I'm going to ask my community to vote on who my next interview should be. We don't do interviews over here, really. I do a Q&A, which means it's a question and answer session. Because I got questions that I would like answers to. I do not agree with talking above somebody, talking below somebody, talking around somebody when I can speak to somebody. So I think I'm going to make sure that when I send this invitation out to the next person that I should Q&A over here, that I make sure it's a fair Q&A, which means I think I want to do question for answer, answer to question. So if you don't understand that, let me tell you what that means. That means I ask a question and I get an answer to my question. And then the person is allowed to ask me a question and get an answer to their question. One, I'm modeling speech, conversational speech for you in that kind of construct. I will discuss and decide if there's parameters to it. But I'm going to let the community determine who is the next Q&A for Momo. Because it seems like the community wants to dictate how things are governed, but they don't like when they're not included in the decision-making process. So I'm gonna put some names out there and see who I should have my next Q&A with. But I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to disappoint. I already know who I want to have it with. That's who I'm gonna have it with. But I'm gonna give you your say on who you think it should be. So let's just make it clear. Do I have to restate myself? I already know what direction I want to go in, but I'm giving my community the opportunity to weigh in. Now, this is what I want you to understand very clearly. When I say my community and you take the liberty to vote on that, understand that you are admitting to being a member of my community. So I'm expecting that vote total to be very low, because most of y'all don't like me. So you should not be interested in who I may want to speak to and have a Q&A with. I had a Q&A this year with Karen. I had a Q&A this year with Smedium. I had a Q&A this year with oh Jesus, I had a Q&A this year with Myron. I had an impromptu Q&A with Psycho. Y'all sat up here and watched these Q&As, and you saw me treat each of the Q&A people questions and answers sessions with respect. That's how I do things in my house. I don't invite people over to my house to fight with them. I invite people over to my house to have civil conversation with. Now, before I put up this post, I will allow folks to email me anyone that they think I should have. No, better yet, comment on this video below. You know that all the comments go to my go to me. They held for review. Anybody you think I should do a Q&A with that I might just add to the list. I'm going to look at that carefully, but I'm going to tell y'all right now who's not going to be considered. I'm not interviewing Faith. Not. And the reason why I'm not interviewing Faith is because I already told her in season 1 that I don't want to have nothing to do with her. So every time I hear a video of hers where she's bumping her gums and she's talking about me and my lifestyle and whatever, I say to myself, didn't I tell this woman to scurry along? Didn't I tell this woman that I did not like her energy from season 1? See, that Mo that came here in season 1, she was the best part of me. She was the best in me. If I had to listen to a devotional song this morning, I would have to say she was the best. That Mo was the best of me because she didn't care about how you took my rejection in season 1. The reason why I became more complicated as the years have progressed is because I have built relationships with some of you. But had I not built those relationships, I could have been as direct as I was then for that reason. And I didn't. And that's just annoying to me. That's annoying to me that I wasn't able to sustain that kind of attitude because I had become familiar with folks. And it really does affect your ability to be impartial at times. So again, I will post a community post about the next Q&A. I'm allowing you guys to weigh in at the bottom in the comment section of this video on who you think I should interview. Who I think should have that moment with me. And that's about it. And again, the format is going to be question and answer to an answer and question. Question to the answer gets a question to get an answer. So I think it should make it fair. I think it would be a different kind of conversation. And I will look into it and see if I need to get a moderator. But most of the time, I think I try my very best to be impartial in situations. Because at the end of the day, if it goes astray, it just will go astray. But I'm going to do my best to hold myself down because, again, this is my image. And what I'm trying to model, again, is appropriate communication and conflict. And I believe that you guys don't understand how to regulate conflict. You got people here who are instigators, and they're instigating for content. And you have people here that that's just what it is. And we'll see if there's anyone out here that you guys got a fear of missing out. What are y'all missing? What are the questions out here that y'all need answers to so that I could just move on with a healthier production? I'm always confused. I am always confused, to say the least. Questions, comments, concerns from the chat. I haven't had an opportunity to take in all the videos. I haven't had an opportunity to go to or view everyone's community center posts. I didn't go into people's community centers and look and see what they had to say. I did see I got mentioned. Ooh, I think I found out where to find those at. Hold up. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because people, they puppets around here. And they want that attention. They want that affection. They want that attention. They, this is something they crave. I know why I came over here. Let me see. What did I put up here on I think I missed something this morning. I sure did. Let me come over here. Miss Monica. And that's about it. Folks around here is just disrespectful. But at the end of the day, they also are craving attention. And Sometimes you have to feed some people to get it to stop. Like you just have to feed them to get it to stop. So I'm hoping that this stuff feeds and oh Jesus, I hate when it does that. Um it feeds them to the level that this could stop. That I find some kind of closure for me, cause I'm gonna tell y'all, I be sitting up here saying to myself, man, these people is cray cray. They just cray cray. Like they ain't never been cray cray before. They on some levels. And I get it that there comes a point now people just want to disrespect you openly. So maybe that man was right when he said they just want a place that they can go and cut up and tear up and uh where do you go where a person don't give a hoot that that's what happens. But really what it is the fear of missing out. It's the fear of not being included in something. Wanting to have that dialogue, needing that space. Um never thought I would say that. Never thought I would see that come to fruition. But it is what it is. I dropped the link just in case the next 24 minutes somebody had something to say to me. I dropped the link for that purpose. Um, I am gonna stay in my time zone. Karen gave me a perspective yesterday on my West Coast Wednesdays that I never thought of. But it's the only time that I, in the words of Joy, come outside in their space. So I won't be doing that. I won't be coming outside in their space. I'm gonna stay in my I'm gonna stay with my original time zone. I don't really like the night air, but I think I will entertain. I know which day of the week I would entertain the night air on, and I'm gonna stick to that because I think that's the only neutral spot I got to stick to night air. Um, and that's it. But we're gonna keep on doing with something. And Karen also said something else to me the other day. She said, Mo, we see that pronoun we are monetized platforms. You, me, Joy, all these other channels, right? Having discrepancies with non monetized channels. And I was like, ugh, ugh. And she said, I'm not going to do it. I said, look at her. She done got into monetized world and she done said bye to y'all. Bye bye. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold you to that because I want you to be greater than me. Joy mentioned on her live last night, people keep coming to her and asking the proverbial question, why can't women get along? And I said, the reason why, it's a good question. The reason why women of color can't get along with each other is because we don't have the true love to see someone succeed. And it shows in our actions. It shows in our actions. And sometimes we make mistakes. And I know people don't like to go back in history here on the internet. But they don't like to be held accountable for their mistakes. You have people say, well, I already apologized for that, so I don't want to hear it no more. It's the end. Hello. There is a ripple effect sometimes to something that you've done. Katrina hit Hurricane Katrina hit Louisiana. It ain't never been the same since that day. Sometimes we engage or we do something to someone and you can never recover to where you was at before that something happened. It's okay. I'm not asking somebody to be overly apologetic about something they did, but you must acknowledge that it was ground zero for a lot of the BS. It cost a lot of relationships around here. And it all started because black women are jealous of other black women. They were jealous of the fact that one would entertain or have a conversation. I've listened to people say, Monica was jealous of Crenshaw. And then I want to ask the question, why? Evidence your claim. If you want to say I was jealous of Crenshaw, show me your evidence of it. Don't just say it. Support it. Document it. Let me understand what you thought was jealousy. Because when I look at the situation, I look at it as Crenshaw was jealous of Monica. And I will point you to the direction, the video she made. That video she made indicated she was jealous of me. Let me go get y'all the cover, because maybe one of y'all can ask for the video. And I want to debunk something else I heard, because this was one of the evidentiary points. Mo is jealous of her because she had, 1 point something subscribers. And she didn't even have a channel. Okay, wait. Let's break that down and make that make sense. I'm just starting my channel, and you're accusing me of being jealous of somebody who got a channel from another man. Are we not forgetting that she acquired the channel she had with all of those subscribers? She got that from a man named G Lounge. He gave her a channel. Now, that's never been my talking point. I am just debunking a lie or debunking misinformation at this point. So you'd have to show me or direct my attention to a moment where I compared or it led you to believe that. You'd have to support that claim. It's your allegation that Mo is jealous of her because she had more subscribers than me when I was just starting out. Show that to me. Now, let me give you my evidence of why I say she was jealous of me. Because in the video that she made, she said words to this effect. Look how he talks to her. Well, wait a minute. If a woman is making a video that is trying to demonstrate my hypocrisy, because that's what her video was supposed to be showing, that Mo was a hypocrite. One of the things that she says is, listen to how he speaks to her, how soft his tone is, so on and so forth. So that's one example. It's right there in the video for all to hear that she was jealous of me because of how he was treating me. That's one of the biggest things that women do when they're jealous of another woman. They look at how a man is treating that woman affectionately opposed to how they're treating, how she's being treated. So that's number one. That's an example I could give. So it's one that I do. Let me see. I'm gonna try something else today. I really am. Okay. Glib, what would you call this? You would call this a file. So I'm gonna insert an image. Yes, I am. It's not an existing image. It's an image, and then I'm gonna go to where the image is at. Go Momo, you getting good with this. Go Momo, go Momo. Okay, so let's go back. I'm gonna show y'all the video and tell her to release the beam footage. He got it because he edited it. He got it because he edited it. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to transform this to the whole page. Oh, I just love me right now. Y'all ready for this? I finally did it. But hold up. Now you know I got to get really jiggy with this right now. Hold up. I got to do one more little thing when I do this. Ooh, girl, you bad with your stuff. I ain't even mad with you. I ain't even sad with you. Let me show you how I got this through. Okay, let me stop. I'm gonna do that. Ooh, booyate. Never trust a friend who chills with your enemy. Why don't you ask her for that video? That's the video of all times that y'all need to bring back out. That's that video. I came back and like a thief in the night, I sealed it up with never leave an enemy behind. In the words of Shaka Zulu's mama. Nandi. And what ended up happening? We'll just go back to our regular program. Holy crap, Momo! You did that! I'm sorry. I just be having to look at my technical skills around here. They're just phenomenal at times. This is one of them. Okay. So that's the point that I was at. Okay, another instance that I would say that woman was jealous of me is when I went on G's Lounge. Y'all been here. Y'all seen the beam footage. For those of you who remember when I went into False and Silence Lounge, went up there on the platform after being begged to go up there. I went up there to defend something I didn't even know what was going on. I was nowhere around there. I went in there on the strength of somebody wrote me and said, you might want to fix this. So I went over there to fix something. Out of abundance of respect, not knowing that there was disrespect in the air, not knowing that there was an audio, not knowing none of the above. But I went in there and I was like, I slayed. I cut hard. And then I was like, anybody else? Am I okay to go? All I remember hearing was it would take a lot of guts for her to come over here and do that. Don't have those records. Or do you have them? Big dude. You have those videos? Because prove me wrong. Nobody wants to prove me wrong. They just keep proving me right. But here's the moment that probably crushed her. When I went on the platform of G's and I'm talking to her about the video she made, the same video I just showed y'all, that same video when she made this video right here. And I said to her. I was like, hey, let's talk about this, because I'm in the chat and she's doing gangster chatting. And I was like, let's step up on the platform. And I took myself right up there. No hesitation, no demonstrations. I went right up there. So when I get up there, she's like, we going in. So I asked her a few questions. Because, you should ask some questions. I have some Q&As for her. I asked her a few questions. And when I asked her those few questions, she answered my questions, and she started eliminating the areas that she could talk to me about because she denounced them. Oh, I don't got nothing to do with that. So I was like, oh, okay, you don't got nothing to do with that? So we don't have to talk about that no more because that's not in your area. So we went down the list. And G was like, I got another person up here. And he was like, the person is this dude. And I was like, I don't really want to deal with this dude. Two things, lady. He was coming up there to defend you because she couldn't handle me. Realizing that was ending poorly for her because it was going down, I was like, I don't want to talk to him. I don't have nothing to say to him, right? Like, this is when you get gang banged up here. And he says, I don't got no beef with Mo. We ain't got no beef with each other, right? I'm saying, ain't this nothing? Nope, we don't. If that's what you saying, good. That's it. I ain't got time for this right now. I'll deal with him another way, another day, whatever. You understand? So I was like, oh, cool. You know how defeatist that must have been for her to hear him say he don't got no problem with me when she just made a whole video talking about never trust a friend who chills with your enemy. That's crazy. That is truly crazy. So that's where I've been in this community. That's what I've been through. You understand? Those are my examples to say that it's the other way around. Just because people on here say something and they repeat it over and over and over and over again does not make it the truth. It just makes it a redundant mess. That's why if someone is not following the narrative all the way through, they would ask you, is Joy and Trey broken up? And I'm like, so now I'm going back in time to things I might need to have had an apologetic moment about. I will not apologize for being in my text messages and telling my cousin at that time what I was in fear for her about, what I was asking her to consider. I can't apologize for that because that's how I felt. And as a friend, I gave her my honest thoughts at the time based on the information I had at that time. The information I had at that time was where this guy came from. So I was skeptical. Friends are skeptical when you start new relationships. I started a relationship here and I had a skeptical friend in my ear every step of the way. And it made for thoughts and me to walk a different way, me to tread lightly, me to think hard, me to look at things from a different perspective. Even though I want to be the person that I am and be as understanding as I am, I took into consideration the different point of views that were being presented to me. But they don't make or break your relationship because you got to build your relationship on your own grounds. So initially when the people were out here, all of us, stomping for this new guy, it was painstakingly obvious that he wanted to grow his channel. In his apology to me, he says it was the business of the platform, but it was not personal. So I want you to understand that. Understood. It stays understood for me. It is what I understood from the beginning. When I saw how the numbers was rocking. And when I came back to the people that messed with me and I was like, don't go over there subscribing. Y'all giving them what they want. Y'all gave it to them honestly. Can I be mad with him because the fear of missing out on what he was going to say about me encouraged y'all to go over there? He told you his whole strategy when he was speaking to me the other day on his platform with Joy. He explained his whole strategy. And y'all have been upset ever since. That was that man's strategy. You haven't addressed him on his strategy. But instead, time has progressed and y'all still on the same stuff. I make my decisions on things. I give my opinions on things based on the information I have at the time. I gave Joy my opinion on something in July or August of 2021. Based on the information I had before me. Now, would that information change as time progressed? Absolutely. But you folks did the same thing initially. I said, oh, they just looking out for her because they feel like, the same way I was feeling. At least I thought. And then as time has progressed and I get different messages and people was like, oh, they broke up. Oh, they broke up. And I go and take a little peek around the alley. I dip and dab in it. But it got too much puddles for me. It's puddles of crap here and puddles of crap there. I can't be in that. I'm going to tell you right now. Same way I can't hang under bushes and stuff because I don't want to get stuff inside my hair. It's the same way I can't be in the alley going down there. It's got garbage cans and a bad smell. Some is urine and stuff. I hate walking through the alley. So I don't go down the alleys too much. I take, little synopsis of stuff when I'm in the alleys. But, I just can't do it. So here I am in the alley. And I'm just disappointed that I even took myself over there. But it is what it is. And I saw what I saw. And you people saw the same thing. And you come back and you just constantly keep browbeating it. Because it don't meet your narratives. Sorry for that. I'm sorry that's what's happening. That's what's on your mind. And that's about it. I don't have anything to say about anybody's relationships but my own. And that's about it. And I guess the easiest way to put a wedge between your relationship and another woman, when we talk about women's relationships, is by butting into their relationship. There's two kind of women. There's women that are abused, right? And you can go to them and tell them, oh, I think that this is a very abusive relationship for you to be in. And the minute you say that, you have just opened a can of whip behind on you. Because you should have minded your business in the first instance. So I just sit back and I'm just still trying to evaluate my behavior and see what I need to what I need to atone with. and look at y'all behavior and see what just doesn't fit my construct. So now I'm giving you examples of how I process situations and how I prove something wrong. Now I could have came here this morning and chose to speak on the same topics that I've spoken on for the past couple of days. And I actually choose not to, because yesterday I thought I brought some closure to some situations. So if grown folk want to go onto their community centers and post up, I don't know, I guess we want to call those, what do you call those? Oh God, the word editorials. If you want to post up editorials about me, so be it. Now I did get an app mention, and it comes from Hyde on this end of town. For me, Kid Dynamite. All right, so I got a post. I think I remember where. Oh, see now. Okay. See now, I don't like this thing. I think it's over here. Bang, bang. We in too deep, man. Ooh. What is that a card of? What is that a ghost of? He got a stake up in there. Honestly, to my knowledge, at Monica Mo Justice didn't owe anybody any money or was accused of scamming nobody on YouTube. We don't care that. That looks like intravenous drugs right there. But maybe, my eyes might be bad. Pay the people back their money ASAP. Now, I says they money, but I know this is one of those words, their money, THEIR, like it's theirs. Pay them back their money. Okay, but once you speak a certain way on these text messages anyway, it figures that this is your language. So this is his language. Pay the people back their money ASAP. I'm done. Some things I personally hope. So he's personally got some hopes here. At Monica Mo Justice, break your smoking toothless of the internet. For real, man. I know what might crack that internet, sir. I know what might crack that internet. And they know it too. So I'm gonna see how that works out. I'm gonna see how that plays itself, because I definitely have questions. And that's about, that's about it. Let me ask you in the chat if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, because y'all been mighty quiet for a minute. I appreciate y'all let me get my lesson out and my speech across. I'm about to go make this money, because this money don't make me. I've been here now listening to folks, because I listened to that video and I listen to folks tell me what I do for a living. And I've just come to the position of, if you say that I am not something, it's your obligation to prove it. Otherwise, you just talking. And recently I went back to a video, and I remember where the woman said I was an attorney. And I was like, where's she getting this stuff from? I never said I was an attorney on here. I said, but if you believe that I was, even though I said I wasn't, thank you very much. Because that shows that I conducted myself in such a way that you was impressed. But then I have to ask myself, do you really value their thoughts about you? Ooh, stop, Mo. Are you in fear of missing out on how they evaluate you? No. I don't value your opinion here. I don't value your opinion here. It doesn't matter what you say about me. It may matter what you do. Now, I had a little problem hearing a video this morning, but I was in the car with my daughter and we listened. And this is what I thought I heard. Was Shirley upset that somebody was getting the credit for the pizza deliveries and she wanted to claim her stake in calling for them? Nice try. Nice try. Nice try. Shirley, I have lived in, and you try to go through it and be funny and say Jersey, New York, Jersey. No, honey. Let's get it together. Stop reading whatever report you're reading and let's get it right, okay? Let's get it right. I've lived in Jersey. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to do it from the time I've been here on this internet. I lived in Jersey. I went and I got an apartment in Manhattan, gave it to a woman, subleased it to a woman for a period of time. I stayed in Jersey. I went and lived in a hotel until I could find a moderately affordable apartment while I then had a freeloader in my shiz. So when we say that we did things for women, I've never been so burnt helping another woman get out of her struggle. And, in the last 10 years, right, having went through a struggle of my own, it was my privilege to help, but I got stabbed in the back in the process. Y'all all saw it unfold here. But yes, I lived inside a hotel. You made videos about, would you have enough money saved up that you could live in a hotel? You were envious of me because I did not cave under pressure. I was able to work somewhere and afford the adversity that was presented to me. I didn't hide on this internet. I didn't ask any of you guys ever for a dime, a cent, a penny. Maybe I might have asked you for your prayers. And I doubt that, because that was one of the issues you had with me, is because I said you can't have everybody praying for you because they be praying on you. So I doubt I even asked for that. The bottom line is me and the creator I serve made my way. When things were hard for me, the things I believe in paint my path. Had nothing to do with any of you guys. Never asked you guys for anything on here. Ever. So here I go. Jersey. New York, I acquired an apartment. hotels, Jersey, until I could get the person out of my apartment. Then I went to Harlem. And then my dad asked me to come back here. Now, before I got back here, you ain't never called no pizza deliveries, any kind of deliveries to any of those places that I lived. The night that happened, I was on a phone call with a gentleman, and he threatened that I have not had any bad stuff happen to me. And watch, because he was protecting me. And then at that night, there was the pizza delivery dude. So, I've always had my own feelings towards that. And I might have shared that with everybody that knew me from behind the scenes. And the best way to camouflage is when you have your enemies in plain sight. And they do things in plain sight under the guise of someone else. So you making a video trying to claim that it was you, if that's what you tried to do, it just lets me know how far you're willing to go to cover up another person's inequities. It's disappointing. Yesterday, I was in a community. I was on somebody's platform last night, and I watched where you guys still, like, y'all go where I go. You follow along and believe that you belong. I see y'all. I see y'all treacherous ways. Yeah, and I cock blocked just like that because I can. I'm Mo Justice. Stay out my areas. You see me somewhere, go somewhere else. And yes, I'm telling you that. You see me somewhere, you best to pack your shucks up and go somewhere else. I don't share spaces with people. And you know who you are, and you know what I'm saying. Get out my area. I'm not there, I don't care. But when you see me come, pack up your shit and run along. Because that's what level we on. Pack up your shit and run along. Because if you ever be up there with me simultaneously, you're going to get this work. And you don't want this work. You don't want none of it. Because I am going to chew your lying ass out and spit you to the curve. Because I can. And I will. Now that I have made my statement, and that is a bona fide promise. And if you don't know, I suggest you speak to the Chatty Patty, and the Chatty Patty tell you exactly how I did these women in season 1. Because I think some people have forgotten how I get down. I be there for all of that. And I got a laundry list of stuff to go at you with. Because you a liar. And I hate when somebody lies to me in my face. Because that's like you playing around in my face. Now, I don't like people playing in my face. So that's annoying to me. Annoying. Absolutely annoying. Now, I think I said everything about the fear of missing out because I wouldn't be going anywhere that I was at. And I can't mess with folks when they already have relationships that pre-existed before me. But y'all know damn going well what y'all doing. And I seen you. And I think the only reason why a person fell back yesterday is because there was too much other stuff going on and they couldn't convince their crew to come through. And no, I'm not going to even hint to that person what's going on. Because I'm just going to let y'all have it y'all way. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm prepared to tear up stuff over there. Oh, yeah, I'm all the way prepared. Not nothing out of the ordinary. Questions, comments, concerns. Mama Guns has spoken. Today's broadcast was brought to you by the M and the O. Mo, mo, mo.